Hello, my name is Liza, and today I'd like to share with you how I made my mini elf ladder for my tier tray. I don't have a large ladder for my large tree, but I thought for the tier tray, I'd like to give it a shot. So first we're going to make the ladder. What you're going to need from the Dollar Tree are the 12-inch dowels. I found one of these metal square tools to be very helpful. And you also need some 1/8 inch red ribbon. I think I got mine at Michael's or Walmart. First, I took a dowel and I cut it down to 2-inch pieces. Then I took two 12-inch dowels and I laid one along the edge of the square, and I used wood glue to glue my steps to the ladder. Make sure that all your ladder pieces are going to be the same, otherwise you're going to have a problem gluing them. So make sure they're 2 inches, and then space them out, and then one at a time use your wood glue to glue them together until you get something that looks like this. The next thing I did was I just gave it a coat of white paint, and once the paint was dry, I used my red ribbon to make I wrapped it around my long edges of my ladder to give it a candy cane appearance. Next, we're going to make our elves. I apologize. They're cute, but they look like kids made them, but oh well. What you're going to need are some white pipe cleaners and some small wooden beads for the heads, the Christmas red velvet ribbon. I took one pipe cleaner and I cut it into two 2-inch pieces and one 2.5-inch piece. That's going to form the body of your elf. So I used my 2.5-inch piece and as my legs, and I wrapped it on a 2-inch piece from the body. And then I took the other 2-inch piece and I wrapped it around the top of the body to form arms. And I wanted 2 elves, so I did this 2 times. And they don't have to be exactly the same because, of course, no 2 elves are. Next, I cut a piece of my ribbon, about 2.5 inches, I think. And then I folded it onto each other to form like a sleeve. And then I cut my ends so that they would be the size of sleeves for my elf's outfit. Next, I did the same thing for the elf's pant legs. So I just cut a piece and then wrapped it around my elf legs. And I just did everything with hot glue. Here you can see how I just wrapped it around the leg. And then the next thing I did was I took another piece and I just cut it into 2 exactly the same size pieces, one for the front and one for the back of a square, and I just glued it onto the pipe cleaner to make the rest of his outfit. And then I took a pipe cleaner and I cut it into little sections to make like buttons, but it's very fuzzy. I wouldn't do that again. And next it was time to make a little hat, so I just used some more of that ribbon and I made a cone shape that would fit on his head. And then with a black Sharpie marker, I attempted to make a elf face, but it kind of blended in the wood, but it's okay. And then I glued another Chanel piece on top of his head, and my elf was done. And then for the second elf, I learned my lesson. I didn't cut up the pipe cleaner, and I just sort of wrapped it around him to give him some furry trim down his front. And then I'm going to place one on the lower part of the ladder and one at the upper part. And now we're going to make our light strands because our elves are bringing our Christmas lights up to Santa's house. So what you're going to need to make your faux lights are some floral wire and these beads that I also found at Dollar Tree. You're going to need some wire cutters and some pliers. And I cut a length of the floral wire, and then I attached a bead. The way I attached the bead was I just folded it as closely together as I could, which is what I used the plier for, put on the bead, and then I flipped the end over so the bead wouldn't come off, so that you get something that starts looking like this. So I'll show you one more time what I did. I just took my floral wire and I folded it in half, and then with my pliers I squeezed it, pinched it as tight as I could so that the bead would go through the two pieces of sides of the wire, and I slipped the bead on, and then with pliers I curled the edge over so the bead wouldn't come off. Then I glued my elves to the ladder and I strung the beads between both, and this is what my completed project looks like. Quarantino and I hope you enjoyed our project. If you did, please give our video a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and as always, if you aren't already subscribing, please consider doing so. Quarantino will be back again soon with another project. Thanks for watching. Take care.